This is exam review day 2, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do the majority of these problems on Desmos or the matrix calculator. For example, if we're going to solve this system, you can use Desmos, and I'm going to go ahead and type it in here. I'm going to try to see if I can make the graph a little bit bigger. So go ahead and type it in. So you have negative 0.3 x minus 0.6 y equals negative 1.8. Enter. And for some reason there's an error, so I'm going to try to see what's wrong with it. You might get the same error. In this case, it should have been a minus there, so there the graph appears. Now we have 0.5x minus 0.7y equals negative 3.8. And I'm going to go ahead and see what the answer is. The answer is negative 2.4. So your answer should be D. Even though B has a correct answer, it's not graphed correctly. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next problem. So we went ahead and used Desmos to do number 1. For number 2, you can also use Desmos. I'm going to go ahead and click out of this. So what we have is negative 4.5 x minus y is equal to negative 4. 1.25 x minus 2y equals negative 8. You notice that the solution is the intersection. In this case, it's C. It's 0. It's 0, 4. Now, I do ask you to show work. What I recommend you do is you get a screenshot of this, and also a screenshot of the last problem, and that's what you would submit on a Word document showing that you did use Desmos to solve question 2. Okay? We're going to go to question 3. Now, this is a word problem, and you can also use Desmos to do this word problem. Let's first go ahead and read this. It says, the length of a rectangle is 6 more than twice the width. So I recommend that you create a right triangle. Of course, I'm sorry, a rectangle, not a right triangle, a rectangle. We know that the length of the rectangle is 2 times, it is 6.7 more than 2 times the width. Okay, so we know that this is the width. So to find the perimeter, it's going to be 2L plus 2W is equal to, because it says is the perimeter of the rectangle is 57.2, so that equals 57.2. What are the dimensions? Now we have length is equal to 6.7 plus 2W. So I'm going to say let Y equal the length, let X equal the width. And so what we're going to do is we're going to transform this into a system that we can write into Desmos. So you have 2y plus 2x equals 57.2. And we know that y equals 2x plus 6.7. So make sure that you're writing this down on your paper. As you know that it's a rectangle. We have the length, which is 6.7 plus twice the width. We know that the perimeter is 2L plus 2W equals 57.2. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to type that into Desmos. So I have y equals 2x plus 6.7, enter. And then I'm going to write 2y plus 2x equals 57.2. Now you probably can't see the intersection, so what you want to do is you can minimize this, and then of course you can see where the two graphs intersect, which is going to be the first value is the x, which is 7.3 is the x, which is the width, and then the second value is the length, which is 21.3. So in this case, your answer is C. For number 4, it's a linear programming situation, and you can also do this in Desmos. I'm going to go ahead and show you. You first type in the constraints because it says what point in the feasible region maximizes the objective. So we have x greater than or equal to 0. X is greater than or equal to 0. We have y is greater than or equal to 0. And you can see the two colors overlapping. The next one is negative x plus 4 is greater than or equal to y. And then the last one is y is less than or equal to 1/2 x plus 1. So you want to see where they all overlap, and you can kind of see it here. It's going to be this point, this point, this point, and then also this point. Okay, so there are your 4 points. 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, and 4, 0, which are the 4 that are here. Okay, which turns out to be good. So go ahead and make a table. So we have 4, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 2. And we know that our function c equals 6x minus 2y. And you want to see which is going to give you the maximum. 6 times 24, 6 times 4 minus 2 times 0, so that's 24. 6 times 0 minus 2 times 0, that gives you 0. 6 times 0 minus 2 times 1 gives you negative 2. 6 times 2 minus 2 times 2, that's 12. Minus 4 gives you 8. So the only point that maximizes this region is A. So your answer is A. Number 5 states, sketch a parabola where the axis of symmetry of -1. So -1 is the axis of symmetry. -1 is the axis of symmetry. -1 is the axis of symmetry. So that tells you the answer is not going to be answer B. Answer C maybe. Kind of a stretch. So now it's between A, C, and B. We need to have a y-intercept of 0, 1. So here's 0, 1. 0, 1, so that throws this one off. 0, 0, that's not going to be it. So your answer is A. And it also has to go to the point 1, -5, which is right there. 1, -5. The y-intercept is 0, 2. Okay, so your answer is A. We're going to write an equation in standard form of a parabola that contains 3 points. And we're going to use y equals 8x squared plus bx plus c. So we have A, x is -2 squared, plus b times -2 plus c equals -11.5. Then we have a times 0 squared plus b times 0 plus c equals negative 2.5. And then we have a times 4 squared plus b times 4 plus c equals negative 20.5. We're going to come up with the equation. So we have 4a minus 2b plus 1c equals negative 11.5. We have 0a plus 0b plus 1c equals negative 2.5. And then we have 16a plus 4b plus 1c equals negative 20.5. We're going to write this in a matrix. So we have 4, negative 2, 1, negative 11.5, 0, 0, 1, negative 2.5, 16, 4, 1, negative 20.5. So we're going to use our matrix calculator. And I already have it here. So this will be 4. This will be negative 2. And there is our equation. We have a is equal to negative 1.5. We know b is equal to 1.5, and we know that c is equal to negative 2.5. So a is negative 1.5, b is 1.5, and c is negative 2.5. So the answer is C. Number 7, we're going to write this in factored form. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to write down x squared plus 14x plus 48. You need to look at 48. Give me the factors of 48. You notice that it's going to be 6 times 8. 6 plus 8 gives you 14. So you got to find the factors of 48. So you have x, and it's going to be plus 6 plus 8. So your answer is x plus 6 times x plus 8. 8, you kind of suspect that it's a perfect square because each of these are squares, but we still got to check if it's a perfect square. So we have 25. We have 25 is equal to 5 squared. And we know that 4x squared is equal to 2x squared. And we know that 5 and 2x, actually it's going to be negative. I'm sorry, not negative. The 5 is going to be negative. So the factors are going to be 2x, this is 5, and this is 5, and that's minus, and that's minus. So your answer is 2x minus 5 squared. So this is a perfect square. So your answer is B. Remember how we test if it's a perfect square? You're going to multiply negative 5 times 2, x times 2. That gives you negative 20x, the middle term. Okay? For number 9, we're going to solve by completing the square. So we have x squared plus 10x plus 14 equals 0. We subtract 14 from both sides. So you have x squared plus 10x equals negative 14. So now we're going to have x squared plus 10x plus c is equal to negative 14 plus c. So we got to find c, which is 10 divided by 2 squared. 10 divided by 2 is 5 squared, which gives you 25. So we have x squared plus 10x plus 25 is equal to negative 14 plus 25. 25 plus negative 14 gives you 11. And you have 25x squared plus 10x plus 25, which is x plus 5 times x plus 5, which gives you 11. So this is x plus 5 squared equals 11. Get the square root of the left side, square root of the right side. So we have x plus 5 equals plus or minus square root of 11. Subtract 5 from both sides, so you have x equals negative 5 plus or minus square root of 11. And that's how you complete the square. Number 10, we're going to solve the quadratic. So we have x squared minus 8x plus 16 equals 16. You notice that the 16s are the same here, so we just have to subtract. And that just happened here by coincidence. So you have x squared minus 8x equals 0. So you really don't have to do the, you don't have to complete the square, nor do you have to use a quadratic formula. You can just factor in x. So you have x minus 8 is equal to 0. So the first answer is x equals 0. And then the second one is x minus 8 equals 0. So you add 8 to both sides. So x equals 8. So x equals 0 and x equals 8. So the answer is C. Number 11, we're going to rewrite in vertex form. Remember, you have to identify A, which is 1. You have to identify B, which is negative 12. And you have to identify C, which is 34. So we got to find the vertex. Remember, you got to use the formula negative B over 2A to find the x value of the vertex. So a negative B, which is 12, divided by 2 times 1. So it's 12 divided by 2, which gives you 6. So we know that the vertex is going to start with a 6. So we know that that's 6, that isn't 6, and that isn't 6. So your answer is either A or D. So now to find y, you need to evaluate 6 squared minus 12 times 6 plus 34. So we're going to go ahead and use our calculator. Six squared minus 12 times 6 plus 34. And I get negative 2. So what is the vertex? 6, negative 2. So we have y is equal to A, parentheses, x minus h squared plus k. So we have y equals A, which is 1. And then we have x minus 6 squared minus 2. So it's on D, so your answer is A. So you have to first find the x value, which we did. You have to find the x value. We found the x value. Then we have to find the y value by substituting the x value into the equation. So we came up with the vertex 6, negative 2. And then, of course, we had the formula y equals A times x minus h, and then we had squared plus k. And we finally came up with the vertex form of the equation. I will be giving you the formulas for the vertex form of an equation. Let's go to number 12. It says to use a quadratic formula to solve the equation. So we have x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. You know you have to identify a. In this case, it's negative 2. You have to identify b, which is negative 5, and c, which is 5. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute. So you have 5 plus or minus square root 5 squared minus 4 times a, which is negative 2, times c, which is 5, divided by 2 times negative 2. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. So I have 5 plus or minus square root divided by 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. So go ahead and evaluate the discriminant. So you have 5 squared minus 4 times negative 2 times 5. In this case, you get 65. So your answer will be D. Your answer will be D. Number 13. It says, what is the solution of the quadratic system of equation? What you can do is, I prefer that you use Desmos. So I'm going to go ahead and take out Desmos again. And what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and graph y equals x squared plus 10x plus 3. And then the other equation is y equals negative x squared minus 5, and make sure it's correct. And you're going to notice that the two parabolas intersect, and they intersect at -1, -6, and they also intersect at -4, -21. So your answer is D. So that is just an intersection. Make sure that you copy Desmos down when you're working this out. Okay, make sure you do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's go to the last page. And once again, it's asking you to find the intersection. It's asking you to find the intersection of two graphs. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, and I'm going to use Desmos. So I'm going to move this over just a little bit. Okay. So you have, here we go. We have negative x squared minus 4x plus 1. And then, of course, the other one is linear. So you have negative x minus 3. It's linear. And so one is parabola, the other one is linear, and then we're looking for the intersections. So it's -4, 1, and then 1, -4, so your answer is B. Remember to give this to me, the picture, when you submit in It's Learning, okay? And those are the problems that I wanted to go over with you. Thank you.